Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a Rockin' H moment. Figured it was a little bit time. So what I'm gonna do real quick is just go over a couple of things that I've done in the past, touch on the lumber rack, because you guys haven't seen it since I stocked it full, and you might have seen it on last episode, but well, whatever, I'm gonna touch on it again. And I'll go over just a future project idea or two that I'm gonna do in the shop for shop furniture. Kind of touch base with on a couple of feedback issues that have been on my past videos, answer some questions, and maybe get some feedback from you guys on my next video. So why don't we just start on the lumber rack? Come, you gotta go this way. Well, I'm sure you guys remember the lumber rack that I made a few weeks back. And at the time whenever I built it and stocked it up with all the wood that I had, I really didn't have all that much wood. All of this right here that you see now was in a storage building, and the whole purpose of this rack was to get that out of the storage building so I could save $70 a month. Well, as you can see, it is all here. All the sugar pine, cherry, oak, mahogany, walnut that I had stored up, and it is all now on this rack. And I know that you're supposed to have faith in everything that you build, but while I was unloading this stuff onto the rack, it kind of worried me a little bit, because I've got planks that are roughly about 14 inches wide. Some are a little bit wider than that, and they're all about 10 feet long, and they're all on that bottom shelf and some above, but that is a lot of wood on that bottom rack. And whenever I did a guesstimation as to how much weight it would hold, I severely underestimated that amount. So I'm very impressed with how much it's actually holding. There is no evidence of sagging, no evidence of the studs pulling away from the wall. So I'm very excited and very glad that I didn't hear a big crash in the middle of the night. This will probably be my next project, is to get an assembly table that will function as the outfeed table for my table saw. It's going to be a nice big square, maybe rectangle, that will feed into the table saw, as well as have 3 drawers of storage, house my air compressor, dovetailing jig, and some whatnot tools that I've got laying around. So I've got a lot to do, but man, this is getting expensive, so it's probably not going to happen right away. I've got some filler projects that I've got some commission money coming from later, so I'll probably have to do that after the table saw is done, because I really need to get some more cash flow to get these projects done. It's turning out much more costly than I anticipated, but so I hope you guys aren't upset and just hang with me. Well, now I figured I'd just fill the rest of this time frame with questions that have been asked over the course of my past few projects on YouTube, as well as Lumberjock. I figured I'd just start with Lumberjock viewer Andy. He is actually a fellow Okie, lives up in Tulsa, but he asked me on my table saw cabinet when I made the drawers, how come I didn't use lock joinery on the actual backs of the drawers like I did on the front? And I did dados in the backs, and to be honest, Andy, I really never thought about it. I guess if you want to maximize your drawer space as much as possible, you could do the lock joints, because it would actually take the back all the way flush to the end of the sides. But I've really just used dados this whole time, so I just kind of stuck with it. But I never really gave it any thought. That is actually something that I might consider. So I do appreciate that question. That gave me some open insight on what to do later. Mick Burns, he's actually from Australia. He's one of my YouTube subscribers and viewers. He asked me, what do my neighbors think of my table saw humming at night while I'm actually working late? To be honest, I haven't had a neighbor complain yet, but I'm kind of waiting for the cop cars to start coming up to tell me to shut up. He also wanted to know if eventually I would start wood turning, and I do have a lathe that's actually sitting right over there in the corner of the shop in pieces, because I got it free from my wife's grandfather. But since it's in pieces, I really don't have the place to actually assemble it, so eventually I will make a cabinet, eventually get into wood turning, because I heard it's very addictive. So Mick, I appreciate those questions, and I hope you continue watching, and hopefully maybe I can get that cabinet made fairly soon. This is something that has been kind of a hot button for my videos the past few weeks, and Glue On and Mr. Houston Plumbing is another YouTube subscribers and viewers, and they both they love the show, they love the channel, and I'm most grateful for that. But they, along with some others, are giving me feedback on my music, saying that it's too loud. And yes, granted, the videos back in the past, yes, they were too loud. I did notice that on different mobile devices, when you watch the videos, sometimes the music gets a little carried away in places and you can't hear me talk very well. So the past 2 or 3 videos, I have lowered the volumes of that, and I thought that it was actually very good for listening purposes and not getting distracted by the music while I'm actually talking. So I guess in order to appease some people, I think this next episode I'm just going to cut music out completely. Maybe just have some on my intro and outro, but during the actual video itself, I think I'll just cut the music out. And I want some feedback from you guys. If you guys like no music at all, or you like to have the background music at a low level. I can do either or, but I really want to appease everybody. I know that that's not going to happen, but if I can do it, I'll try it. Glue On and Mr. Houston Plumbing, along with the others that have given me that kind of feedback, I do appreciate it. Constructive criticism is always welcome on my channel, even if it's safety issues. Safety is always a #1 concern in my shop. I'm not careless, but I do try and implement, but nobody's perfect, and I'm not stupid. You guys aren't stupid, and I don't take you for being idiots, as long as you don't take me for one. Constructive criticism is never turned down. So I don't care. You guys watch or you don't watch. That's all there is to it, and I appreciate every viewer and subscriber that has actually watched my videos, and from beginning to end. And remember, I put bloopers at the end sometimes. Don't turn away. Be safe in your shops. Keep the comments coming. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and give me some feedback on the no music on the videos. I'd like to hear what you have to say. So, talk to you guys later. Take care. My cameraman sucks today.